Hi, my name is Ettie Zilber, and I'm really honored that my book is part of the collection of the Scottsdale Public Library. It's entitled A Holocaust Memoir of Love and Resilience, Mama's Survival from Lithuania to America. Now, I chose this black and white photo of my parents for the cover because it shows them physically recuperated from their horrible war experiences during the Holocaust. And here they are in a displaced persons camp in Landsberg, Germany. And they were very much in love. And I was born very short while thereafter in this camp. Now, many asked me what inspired me to write this book. The truth is, I had no intention of writing or publishing a book. I originally only wanted to get my mother's testimony so that my sisters and I could hear it from start to finish. All our lives we only heard snippets and not always in chronological order. Sadly, we missed recording our father's story, so we were determined to record Mom's stories and make these stories available to our children and our grandchildren so they would know their roots. So after I finished transcribing the recordings and putting the story in chronological order, I started researching the events through primary sources. Now, it's not that I didn't trust my mother's memory. Actually, she was spot on with her memory. I simply wanted her words to be corroborated with other sources so that no one could ever deny her story. Then once I had some free time and a little bit of extra money, I decided to take a trip to Lithuania and Poland, sort of in my parents' footsteps. And while I was there, I kept a journal and I wrote about my feelings and my findings. And this memoir now took on a life of its own, and I was encouraged to publish it. And so, in fact, this book is a double memoir. Now, as a double memoir, it's very unique because I reflected on how my parents' Holocaust experiences impacted me as a child of survivors of genocidal trauma. Much research has been done on the psychological effects of severe trauma on the individual, as well as the psychological impact on their children. But in recent years, there's been a focus on the physiological changes in the body due to trauma and how that affects subsequent generations. It's called transgenerational transmission of trauma. It's a fascinating field of research. Now, the book is special for another reason, because it's quite rare to have a memoir from a Lithuanian Holocaust survivor. And the reason for that is less than 5% of the population, the Jewish population of Lithuania, survived to even tell the story. Well, you can imagine that this book is very, very close to my heart, and it somehow brings me closer to my parents who are no longer with us. This is an inspirational story of courage, optimism, love, and resilience during and after one of the darkest periods of the 20th century. I now devote my time to speaking to youth and adults in schools, universities, at conferences, and at book clubs. So you can contact me at aholocaustmemoir@gmail.com. I love to hear from readers. Thanks for listening.